The university is investigating alleged sexual harassment at a fraternity function over the weekend.
Ole Miss Student Media got the exclusive on this huge controversy. Good evening, I'm Madison Heil.
And I'm Jennifer Lott. It all started with a Facebook post speaking out against the actions of the members of the Sigma Chi fraternity at this year's Derby Days.
Over 1,000 shares and hundreds of comments later, and the university has launched a Title IX investigation into what happened Friday night.
Sudu Upadhyaya joins us now for an in-depth look at what all happened to cause this big controversy. Sudu?
That's right, Jennifer. Sigma Chi's annual fundraising and philanthropy event went smoothly throughout the week until the dance competition on Friday night. That's when some vulgar remarks were made that overshadowed the entire event. One Ole Miss student took to social media on Saturday, which has brought major attention to the incident.
Ole Miss sophomore Abby Bruce got emotional on Friday night as she watched the Derby Days dance competition.
I felt completely ashamed to be remotely connected with such an organization.
In a Facebook post, Bruce said she teared up as she watched women be humiliated in the name of philanthropy. What Bruce is referring to is remarks made by Derby Days MCs who call themselves Derby Daddies. In her Facebook post, Bruce says Derby Days queens were asked questions like which Sigma Chi they would go down on and what type of sausage they would prefer. Listen here as the MCs refer to Alpha Delta Pi sorority member Bobby Joe Davis by a sexual term.
All right, Bobby Joe, what's your nickname?
Bobby Smyrna.
So you're telling me your nickname's not BJ? We're going to go ahead and take BJ on that one. All right, Bobby Joe, all right, I'll give you an easier question. What's your fondest memory of the Sigma Chi basement?
Getting rowdy and neon.
Hey, I know we've already asked that question, but we're going to go ahead and go with her nickname is BJ.
While Davis declined to speak to NewsWatch about the incident, Bruce says many women might be afraid to speak out in fear of backlash.
As a woman, we are taught to just smile and be complacent and accept what is given to us, and it's not okay.
Sigma Chi President Clay Woolley says the fraternity did not do enough to stop the incidents from occurring and says the acts of the MCs fall on the whole fraternity. Woolley also responded to comments of the incident promoting rape culture.
You know, those things never should have been said. You know, putting it into the category of rape culture, though, that is that is extreme, like you said. I mean, it's you know, it's supposed to be done out of innuendo and fun, and it got carried away too far this year and shouldn't have taken place at all.
Since the video was released, the university has begun a Title IX investigation into the matter. The Office of Dean of Students released a statement Saturday saying, if substantiated, the behavior reported at this event clearly violates campus policy and one of the UM community's core values, which is for our students to show respect and dignity for all. UM Director of Equal Opportunity and Regulatory Compliance, Rebecca Dressler, also added, it is important that members of our community feel safe and supported. Actions that undermine that goal will not be tolerated. While he did not go into specifics, Woolley did tell us the MCs at the event are currently going through an internal judicial process and preliminary disciplinary action has already been taken. Woolley also told me he contacted all sororities involved in Derby Days to apologize about the vulgar comments. Now, this weekend's incident has shed light on another issue. After Bruce's social media post went viral, many sororities emailed their members telling them not to speak to the press and not to share the post. NewsWatch was sent screenshots of messages from Delta Gamma, Phi Mu, AO Pi, Tri Delta, and Kappa Alpha Theta asking its members not to speak to the press. We reached out to the presidents of all 11 Panhellenic sororities for a comment, and most did not reply because their national chapters do not allow them to speak to the press. We were also contacted by a former sorority member who was forced to drop from her chapter last night after voicing her opinion on social media against Sigma Chi and Derby Days. The Sigma Chi member, or the ex-member, wanted to stay anonymous because she fears backlash. And she's not the only one with that fear. We interviewed another sorority member who wanted to talk on camera but was afraid of what her fellow sisters would say.
There's just a code of silence basically among sorority and fraternity members that the way they act is just the way that they've always acted, and that's the way they always will, and that girls shouldn't do anything about it. They should just let it happen.
It's just really disheartening to me that women are being silenced by the type of organization that's supposed to empower them.
If women aren't allowed to speak out and to let fraternities know that
no, we're not okay with this behavior, or to talk about how it affected them. There's no dialogue about it, and that's something that's very important and is needed for fraternities to move past things like this.
So quite a lot going on with the story right now. Remember to follow NewsWatch_UM for the latest on this incident. Jennifer Madison, back to you.
The Sigma Chi fraternity released a statement apologizing for the Derby Days incident. However, the fraternity feels that this gives them an opportunity to address the issue of sexual harassment. The group believes that the event should be used to open a dialogue among groups to make positive change. In the letter, the fraternity stated the Untitled Chapter of Sigma Chi Code of Conduct specifies that members are to exercise good grace towards women, and we would like to sincerely apologize to the queens, the competing organizations, attendees of the dance, and anyone who was offended by the words and actions of any of our members. The fraternity plans to work with Rebels Against Sexual Assault to hold a workshop for members regarding verbal abuse and sexual harassment. And Newswatch would like to hear your input on either of these stories, and who knows, you just might be featured on our show. Send us a direct message on Twitter or go to newswatcholemiss.com to submit a comment. The Daily Mississippian is also accepting letters to the editor. You can visit the dmonline.com for more information on how to have your voice featured in the paper.
Marshall County deputies are investigating another incident involving Ole Miss students. Police arrested Anthony Cantu on Saturday during a spring party at Foxfire Ranch and charged him with felony simple assault on a police officer. Cantu is accused of headbutting a security guard and breaking his nose. According to police, Cantu and other students left the property and were walking in the road, ignoring security officers when the incident happened. Cantu continued to resist police after they arrived at the scene. The other students returned to campus. Now moving on to an event over the weekend with a little less controversy, Ole Miss hosted its annual color run through campus this Saturday. Chandler Morgan has more on this colorful event.
Wake up, Rebels, it's time to color our college. The annual Color My Campus 5K Fun Run made its way to the Ole Miss campus, where all proceeds benefited the Special Olympics Mississippi Area 4. This 5K Fun Run is painting the Ole Miss campus, one runner at a time. All right, Austin, tell me how it was out there today.
Oh, it was amazing. I'm tired, but it was definitely a good time.
So tell me about the color. How did you get color on you?
Oh, I just went up to the people and said, just spray it on me.
Staff members of the color run used a powder-based dry paint to throw on runners. How many showers do you think it's going to take to get all this color off of you?
3 tops.
Who's your best guess? Did you have fun today?
I did. It was fun.
Before the race began, runners could warm up with ZUMBA from instructor ELISE Jones.
Yeah, I'll be doing 15 minutes of my routine, so that's around 6 or 7 dances, so I'm excited to get the people and crowd pumped up to run.
And that's a wrap for the color run here at Ole Miss. For Newswatch, I'm Chandler Morgan.
You may have noticed a big boat outside of the Union today. Well, a group of athletes are hitting the surf and they need your help. Dylan Lewis has more.
What started off as a small organization is now getting national attention.
We've got all our riders we had last year, we've all gotten better. So, we're hoping for the best, maybe top 3 finish. But the competition's pretty tough. Those riders are real good. Some of them are even going pro.
With over 30 members, the Ole Miss wakeboard team is preparing for this year's national competition.
We compete in the Louisiana Collegiate Wake Tour. That means our region is around Louisiana. We compete mostly with Louisiana schools, Mississippi schools, schools in the South. And then 4 times a year, 2 a semester, we'll travel to Louisiana or somewhere nearby, compete against all those schools.
The wakeboard team sees this as more than just a competition.
We have a really good sense of family. Like, our group together, we are all super close. I mean, I hang out with these guys more than I hang out with my sorority sisters, and I enjoy hanging out with them, and we all get along because we all enjoy the same things.
The wakeboard team is working hard to raise funds and recruit new members for their future team.
Come hang loose with the Ole Miss wakeboarding team at their first annual luau party on Wednesday at the Round Table. Dylan Lewis, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Well, it's time for those big red buses.
Double Decker is this Friday. Find out what to expect from this weekend's fun and entertainment.
But first, Taylor Martin has our first look at today's weather.
What's going on, everyone? It's currently 79 degrees here in Oxford. Ended up being a warm one today, but how long will the warm weather last? I'll let you guys know later on in the broadcast.
Welcome back. The 21st Double Decker Festival is this weekend, and there's plenty of fun to be had. Jack Bedrosian joins us now and tells us a few things to expect this weekend. Jack?
Thanks, Jennifer. The fun kicks off on Friday. From 10 to 3, the square will transform into an art workshop. The festival offers oil painting, mixed media, and other art demonstrations throughout the day. Music on Friday will kick off at 6 with alternative country singer Corey Brannon, followed by a live Thacker Mountain radio session and R&B and soul group The Night Owls closing out the fest at 7:30. Saturday is full of music. The double-decker set kicks off with Oxford's own Riverside Voodoo at 10:15. Bands will play throughout the night with Michael Franti and Spearhead at 8:30. Franti sings multi-platinum song Say Hey, I Love You. He'll also be performing his new song Once a Day at the fest. On Sunday, there will be an Iron Chef competition in front of City Hall at 3. The event is free and open to the public. Hope to see you out there this weekend. Jennifer?
Thanks, Jack. Also coming up in some local entertainment, the Student Activities Association announced the names of the spring concert performers. Daniela Oropeza has the story.
Are you ready?
Every semester, the Student Activities Association and the Ole Miss Student Union sponsors a free concert in the Grove. This spring concert will feature Need to Breathe and special guest Matt Kearney. Special Events Director Brady Ruffin tells us more about this semester's upcoming performance.
We chose Need to Breathe and Matt Kearney because basically with their popularity amongst students and local residents and their availability for the concert dates, SAA tries to provide students with diverse musical selections, and in the past we've had groups like Thomas Rhett, Nelly, Gavin DeGraw. So.
Each semester, the concerts alternate between country musicians and rappers. However, this year, there's a twist. Need to Breathe is a Christian rock band.
I was excited. I am in like a Young Life group me, and we all decided that we're all going together, so we're all super pumped.
I like that. I like that move by the university. To be honest, I haven't been a huge fan of some of the artists that we've had, so I like the change of pace.
Yeah, I just found out Need to Breathe is coming, and I have like mixed reactions. I am a Christian, but like from the non-Christian standpoint, I could see how all of the recent events might, with the people that were here telling everyone they were going to hell, I could see how that might seem like we're just shoving Christianity on people.
This semester's concert will be held at 5 p.m. on Sunday at the Grove Stage. Keep watching NewsWatch for updates and student reactions towards the concert. Daniela Oropeza, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Rebel fans can take a road trip to Gulfport for the 5th annual Rebel Road Trip. Fans can meet head football coach Hugh Freeze Monday afternoon. The event also features Athletics Director Ross Bjork and Chancellor Jeffrey Vitter. In addition to those speakers, the tour will also include food, autographs, merchandise, and more. Fans can even get their picture taken with the Egg Bowl trophy. Tickets are $25 each.
Today, Mississippi State head football coach Dan Mullen ran the Boston Marathon. The first-time marathon runner crossed the finish line this afternoon with the time of 4 hours, 28 minutes, and 35 seconds. He ran the 26.2 miles at a 10-minute and 55-second mile pace. Mullen had been training for months, running around 13 miles every weekend. Adidas gave Mullen a sponsor's exemption to run in his first marathon. The Clarion Ledger posted race updates all day so fans could follow along with Mullen's run. One man received a sentence today for the death of an Ole Miss student. Gulfport native Derek Boone was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole after pleading guilty to the murder of Ole Miss graduate student Zach McClendon in 2013. Investigators said 3 men entered McClendon's apartment when one suspect shot the victim in the back of the head. The 3 were also accused of stealing some of the victim's belongings. The other 2 suspects have not yet gone to trial.
A mom in Jasper County, Georgia, is upset over her son being paddled at school after she gave them her consent. The Associated Press reports.
A Georgia mom secretly recorded this video after giving school officials permission to paddle her misbehaving 5-year-old son. Shayna Perez admits that Thomas can be a handful.
He's 5. He's not the best child. I mean, he's probably worse than some other people's children. I mean, but it's not the way that we're raising him. We haven't raised him to be bad.
Perez says Thomas has already missed a number of days at school this year, and that the principal at Jasper County Primary School led her to believe she would be arrested if she didn't consent to the paddling.
If he gets suspended, I'm going to be arrested for truancy. If he misses another day, I'm going to be arrested. She never denied that. She never told me anything otherwise.
We were able to confirm that the school did not tell her that.
The sheriff saw the video and says it shows nothing illegal. The school district said in a statement that it couldn't comment on this case, but added that corporal punishment is allowed with parental permission. Matt Friedman, Associated Press.
We've got a week full of beautiful weather as we head into Double Decker this weekend.
Taylor Martin's full forecast is coming up next on Storm Watch.
What's going on, Oxford? I'm Taylor Martin with Storm Watch. It's been one of the warmest days yet here in Oxford. We've got a high of about 79 degrees, hitting 80 at some points today. Light winds and clear with some mixed clouds. And looking at our satellite image, pretty clear right now, but you can see we do have some storm system kind of moving in. We won't see that until about Wednesday, but the clouds will be coming in for tomorrow. And looking at our current temperatures, pretty much high 70s all across the region, 79 in Oxford, and likewise all across northern Mississippi. And for tomorrow's temperatures, pretty much about the same as today, cooling down maybe a couple degrees, but high of 76 for Oxford. And looking at tonight's forecast, we're going to get down to about 54 degrees. Those clouds are going to roll in, mostly cloudy, and winds light and variable. And moving on to tomorrow's forecast, a high of about 76 degrees, mostly cloudy skies and a chance of rain, but small enough to hopefully it won't hit us tomorrow. So moving on to the 5-day forecast, it looks like we've got rain in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday, and it is going to cool down to the low 70s, but just in time for double decker this weekend. It's going to be back up to about 76 by Friday, and it looks like it's going to be pretty warm throughout the rest of the weekend.
Well, Taylor, it's great to hear that this weekend will be perfect weather for double decker.
Yes, it should be very nice. I'm really excited.
Awesome. Thanks, Taylor. Coming up on Rebel Watch, Jacob Duke breaks down where Ole Miss stands after a tough week in baseball. We'll be right back.
I'm Ross Bjork, the Ole Miss Athletics Director, and you're watching Rebel Watch.
Welcome to Rebel Watch. I'm Jacob Duke. The Ole Miss baseball team traveled to Tuscaloosa this weekend for a 3-game series against the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Rebels split the first 2 games before losing the rubber match on Sunday 7-2. Pitcher Sean Johnson made his first start in over 2 weeks on Sunday, allowing 1 run over 4 innings. Freshman Andy Pagnosi came in on relief in the 5th and gave up 2 runs, earning his 2nd loss of the season. The Tide combined for 11 hits on the afternoon. Rebels are now 26-10 with a 7-8 SEC record on the season after this weekend's series loss against the Tide. After dropping the series in Tuscaloosa and the midweek loss against Southern Miss, the Rebels have fallen from 8 to 16 in the latest college baseball rankings, according to USA Today. The Rebels will look to get back on track tomorrow when they travel to Memphis to take on the Tigers in a makeup game. In their meeting earlier this season, Ole Miss defeated Memphis 9-7. James MacArthur is set to take the mound for the Rebels. First pitch is at 6:30. Over in softball, the Rebels took 2 out of 3 from the South Carolina Gamecocks in Columbia. After losing 5 of the last 7, this series was a much-needed win. Dakota Matigo had a big weekend for the Rebels, going 4 for 6 with 3 RBIs, and pitcher Kayla Landwehrmeyer tossed a shutout on Saturday, throwing just 67 pitches in the 2-0 victory over the Gamecocks. With the series wins against South Carolina, the Rebels are now 30-15 on the season, which ties the school record for the most wins in a season. One more win will give them the single-season record. Ole Miss will be back in action tomorrow when they take on the Memphis Tigers. First pitch is at 6. Now, former Ole Miss defensive lineman Robert Kimdichie is preparing for the NFL Draft, which is just a little over a week away. Kimdichie has had his share of off-the-field incidents and intriguing statements lately, but now there's something you can add to that list. When asked what Kimdichie would do with the money when he signs his rookie contract, Kimdichie said he would treat his family and buy a pet panther. Kimdichie plans to domesticate the cat. Obvious dangers come with owning a large cat, but when Kimdichie was asked about the panther, he said, "They're like cats." Well, that's all for sports. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at rebel_watch, and be sure to tune into our Friday sports special at 3. We'll be right back.
The phrase lucky duck has taken on a whole new meaning for one bird. Philip lost both his feet to frostbite, but even he has been given a second walk of life.
That's right. The duck was rescued by a teacher who has a 3D printer and a creative mind. The middle school technology teacher worked with his class to create prosthetic feet for Philip. After weeks of trial and error, the class successfully fitted him with the perfect pair.
Now that Philip is able to walk again, he's being sent to an animal sanctuary where he will be safe from harm. That's our show. I'm Jennifer Lott.
And I'm Madison Heil. Thanks for joining us. Good night.